Hi, welcome again to the God's Union Marriage Ministry YouTube channel. Gummy TC. That's right, it's still Gummy TC. G-U-M-M-Y-T-C. God's Union Marriage Ministry YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's kind of taboo in some people's eyes, but it's a real topic. Opposite sex friends.
Yes. So the question is, should you have opposite sex friends when you're married? And our thought on this is no, you shouldn't. And we're going to give you a couple of reasons why. I'm sure that you could probably figure out some reasons why this is a good idea, and you might even be able to come up with some reasons why you think that it's not a good idea, or that you think it is a good idea. So you might feel the opposite way. But we feel that it is not a good idea. And the first thing is because of time. Already, you're supposed to be spending 2.5 hours a day with your spouse. That's a lot of time. That's about 17 hours a week.
Woo!
Yeah, a lot. And if you are communicating with someone of the opposite sex outside of your marriage, you really don't have enough time to communicate with your spouse. You're not giving your spouse that time. And so when you think about all of the things that you already have to do in a day, you have to go to work. A lot of us are taking care of kids. Some of us are in school. If you're cooking, trying to work out, whatever it is that your life has you doing, things that you might be doing in church, you really don't have a lot of extra time for your spouse as it is. And so it would be unfair to give that time to someone else of the opposite sex, especially if you're not giving that time to your spouse. And I feel like any time that we have extra, we can find that time to spend with our spouse.
One thing about spending additional time with your spouse throughout your week, it creates that closeness.
Yes. And
you want to be close with your spouse. There should never be a time where you've given all your bad feelings or sad thoughts or what's bothering you to the homegirl at the job or the homeboy at the office.
Exactly.
That should be given to the one who loves, that can pray for you, encourage you, and also be there to support you in any way you see fit.
Exactly.
So if we've divulged all this information to some random somebody at the job or at the workplace, on campus, if we're in school full time,
exactly,
that leaves our spouse no way to be there for us.
Yeah.
Some may disagree, but this is how we feel, and we're the Henrys. This is our YouTube channel.
And secondly, as you stated, intimacy. You're building intimacy. So that's the second reason why you shouldn't have opposite sex friends. With building intimacy, you and your spouse should be very best friends, should be close. And it's hard to build intimacy when, again, you're talking to somebody else outside of your marriage. Maybe you're telling them your deepest fears, your secrets, or if you're mad at your spouse, you may even be communicating that with somebody of the opposite sex or outside of your marriage. And so it's important that you are building intimacy with your spouse, and that you're talking with your spouse and making sure that your spouse knows all of those deep, dark secrets, your fears, your hurts, your wants, your needs, all of that. And then, vice versa, giving them a chance to express themselves, and also giving them a chance to fulfill your needs and those desires, and hopefully some of those wants.
So we need to keep the time together. So 2.5 hours a day. That's number one. Second is building intimacy. But going back to number one, time together, how on earth do I get 2.5 hours a day with my spouse, my wife, my husband? Well, in the morning. Get up in the morning and pray and do a devotional together.
Exactly.
Okay? You on the toilet, she washing her face or brushing her teeth. That's a reality. Time together. Getting the kids together. That's time together.
Exactly.
Fixing lunches together. That's time together.
Yeah.
Bam. I called you on my lunch break. It's only a 15-minute break. Chit-chat with you for 10 to 15 minutes. That's time spent. When we first get home from work, let each other go decompress, wash your face, kick off your shoes, take you off your shirt and tie. Ladies, take off your heels, unstrap. You know what y'all put that unstrap. Then sit there and talk to each other about what happened that day. Get the kids ready for bed together. Go over homework together. Put up the dishes together after dinner. Time together. You may not get 2.5 hours on this day.
Exactly.
But the next day, hey, I get off at 4, you get off at 4. Let's go grab a movie and some dinner. I already set up a babysitter for the kids. We're creating opportunities to spend together. If you got all this other stuff going on with these opposite sex friends, they're coming in between the two of you. Nothing in between the two of you all. Ever.
Yes.
So make sure the time is spent. Fellas, you got to make sure you see to it. Now, we talked about the intimacy. That's just flat out, just keep all the other mess pushed aside. Stay with your spouse. And thirdly, baby, get it.
Yes, thirdly is oneness. So Genesis 2:24 states that you should leave and then cleave to your spouse, and that the two of you should become one. And that doesn't mean one mindset or one identity, but it means that you should become one unit and unified under God. And the purpose of that is, again, I'm not sure of the verse in the Bible, but there is a verse in the Bible that talks about when a man gets married that he takes a whole year off from war or from the service and from work, so he could spend that year with his wife, his new bride. And the purpose of that is getting to know your spouse and becoming one with your spouse.
Getting to know.
Exactly, getting to know.
All right.
And so, again, oneness happens when we leave and we cleave. It is hard for you to still be out in the world when you're trying to cleave to your spouse. And leaving doesn't necessarily mean father and mother in particular, but it means also family, it means friends, and whatever else was in your past. So you really want to make sure that you are cleaving to your spouse and becoming one under God. And that's hard to do, again, if you have other people that are in your ear or you're talking to them. It's hard for you to really get a chance to know your spouse in a special way if you have other things going on outside the marriage. And the devil will use whatever he can.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's here to steal, kill, and destroy. And he doesn't want your marriage to grow or for your marriage to thrive. And so he will use opposite sex friends. Even when you think, I'm strong, I know nothing like that will ever happen, it can happen. And again, we just want to make sure that we're stressing to you the importance of that. I know, and as far as me and my marriage, I never thought that infidelity would ever happen, and it did. And we've overcome that, and we're stronger and better because of that. The thing is, we didn't have those safeguards around our marriage like we do now. And I think that's so important. You need to make sure that your marriage is safeguarded.
High five. Boom. So, once again, spend time with your spouse. Create true intimacy. Create the oneness.
Yes, yes.
3 things: Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. The Holy Trinity. Plus you and your boo thing. Thank you again for coming in, stopping by the God's Union Marriage Ministry YouTube channel, and hanging out with Eldridge and Zena Henry. We are one.
Yes.
No matter what you know the song.
Bye-bye.
Peace. See y'all next time. Turn up. Your turn. Okay.
You better hope it was recording.
Testing, testing, mic check. 1, 2, what is this? How you feeling, baby?
I feel straight.
You want to lean on this pillow? Like when you sit back with me.
Do you?
We must speak clear and loud, okay?
Alrighty.
Are you ready?
Yes, I think so.
Hi, welcome again to the God's Union.